Alright, back at it this week. I don't have much time though, actually, because I'm selling my house on the coast. And I accepted an offer, but I need a place to move my stuff to. But this place isn't going to be done, I don't think, in the next 3 weeks. Because I got to move out my stuff and pack, and so I'm kind of having a hard time just finding time to finish this up, but I really need to finish it up. So this week I'm going to go get some wood, because really I just have to finish the front little steps and stuff, and then I'm going to work on this today, trying to finish up this vinyl siding. I noticed over here it doesn't look so bad now, but these the first piece you put in here for the trim, I mean, these got pretty warped. They look better now, but with the heat yesterday, it looked pretty bad, and I think it's because you put these screws in here, and so I put a slot in here so these move, but I think that the screw goes through these in the back, and so these don't flex anymore with the heat. So I think that's what's going on with those. I don't know how you fix that, but anyways, back at it. Okay, so it wasn't so bad getting this Gable part done. I mean, it took forever though, measuring out pieces and trying to get everything to fit right. On this end right here, I mean, gosh, you can't even see it, but there's the little corner. I was actually about 2 inches short. From where it should be. I measured it out, but I was still about 2 inches short on a piece, so there's no way I could get like a little tiny piece right up in that corner. So I'm hoping the trim will cover it up. You won't even tell, really. But anyways, I got the last piece cut for up there. Well, the second to the last. Right here it is. I mean, that's basically almost one whole sheet. But now I only have a little piece left right there on the end to cut. So, but it's getting a little hot out. I'm about 80 now, so I'm gonna come work on this backside too. And I gotta figure out, get this kind of done so I know if I'm short any siding that I need to get more, because I'm like 3 pieces short of the trim stuff. So I might as well order at the same time. So I want to get that done. But anyhow. Hey, getting on it this morning. It's pretty early, 7:38, and it feels perfect out, like 65 degrees. And I was going to start putting on this next row there, But again, like these pieces right here have expanded so much that they're hitting their max, and it's in the morning, and it's nice. So now I'm again debating taking these off, moving them, putting them back on before I continue on. I'll show you. See, like this one right here. I mean, it's already hit past the point right there. It's kind of reaching its max, and it's in the morning, and it's really pretty cool out. That one is also hitting its max right there too. So I don't know. Am I losing a little confidence in this stuff? So today I went to Home Depot. I got my a lot of the wood, probably half of it, for the front deck thing. It was like the 4x4s, 2x12s, kind of the big pieces, but it was only like 12 pieces of wood. It was still like $300. Like, dang. But I got back, it's like 90 degrees, so I've been doing little stuff. I finished up my little bottom piece of trim on the counters there. So that was like really one of the last things I had to do in here. And then I also got like a little transition piece here for the, I was missing that. It's a little bit off color, but that's fine. And then I was trying to figure out something for, this trim around this corner. So I got this PVC stuff right here. And it wouldn't bend around, so I cut all these little grooves in it, figuring it would give then, but it still doesn't. It just kind of really wants to twist up. So I'm still going to look into what I'm going to do for the trim there. Oh, in the bedroom here, I got all the trim up, so I basically am done. I'm not going to mess with this door and stuff and shelves right now. I figured that's, a couple days work, cutting those doors down and painting them and putting shelves in. So I don't even really want to mess with that. So I'm going to wait on all that. I don't think it's necessary for this occupancy permit inspection. So I'm going to let that go till afterwards. Hey, so a productive day. I got the rest of this side done with the Gable and everything, and I also went to Home Depot again in Bend, and I got all my wood. So I'm all set for the wood for the front deck. I mean, it's really a 3x3 kind of deck with stairs coming down, and it's going to be about $500-600 just for such a small deck. It's kind of funny, but anyhow, so at least I got a lot done this week. I gotta head back and get ready for moving out of my other place, but wow, I'm glad to have this stuff done. You know, I've been thinking about this vinyl siding too, and these huge gaps I got a huge gap down here, and there's a huge gap on this other one over here too. But the thing is, you know, I've got a line on the edge here that I lined up everything to, and it seems like if these things moved, you know, it would be different on that line, but the panel is in on the line, and there's a huge gap here. So the only thing I can think of, these things actually shrank and are smaller, because if there was a big gap here, it would mean they pushed these panels out. So this panel should be, you know, past the line there if they really kind of expanded and just stayed that way. So something is weird with these. They look like they've kind of shrank. And this side is actually, I did this one first, so this side's been exposed now for at least a month or so. So I don't know. Yeah, and on these corners right here, like I was saying, if you've got this thing lined up exactly all the way around your house, they look pretty good. But if you're a little bit off, I mean, one side's going to have, you know, this gap, and I don't know, these seem a little cheesy to me, but you know, one thing is on the starting row, these things don't really sit in this groove, the starting row strip, very well. So these ones on the very bottom tend to like pop out. And another thing, you snap these things together. So this one snaps into this one, and then you put it up. But the problem is, I got up a couple and went, wow, this is off. Maybe I need to adjust them. And to take these things apart once they're snapped together is like really hard. You almost like bust the things like trying to pry them off. And I don't see any way online to separate them. So once you snap them together, I mean, you got to be pretty confident you're going to keep it there. Otherwise, it's a pain. And on these corners too, I mean, they say that you can adjust these things up and down. They got flex in them, you know. But really, if you put these things in and you go up, you can see right in between the space. So, I mean, there's a big gap there. So, I mean, you really can't adjust these up much. So, I'm having to go down, really trying to cover this gap right here. You know, but then it makes a bigger gap on these edges. But, you know, I don't know. So this siding's like a nightmare to me, really. But this side's got the exact same problem as the other side. There's a huge gap there. It's probably like 65 degrees right now, so you know, there shouldn't be a big space there. And this really pisses me off. So I was like looking at this, and there's actually one piece right here that's not totally in the groove. And you know, to fix that, I would have to take down everything to get to that spot. And you know, I mean, it ticks me off because I've been like really careful about trying to make sure it's all in the grooves and everything. So I mean, I've put a lot of attention into that, and so to miss a spot, it's just like Really. And so sometimes, a lot of times, these things feel like they're totally in the slot, but it'll like somehow miss a section, but it feels like, bam, it goes up in perfect. So at this point now, I'm just going to leave that, and I figure with all these other problems of expansion and contraction, that that's probably one of my smaller problems. But anyways. I'm going to get on that deck today, start doing the deck. But I wanted to show you, I noticed something on this siding, and again, it's the expansion contraction of this stuff. Now I'm pretty much like thinking I'm going to have to rip this all off in the future. I'm not impressed by this stuff at all. Let me show you this. So it's like 50 degrees out, so it's really not that cold. But I looked at this piece and I was like, wow, you can see a gap. What the heck? And so these are already contracted to really the max. There's a little tab, and at 50 degrees. So when this hits 30 degrees, 10 degrees, this is going to be a huge gap showing there. And it's not just that one. There's other ones here too. But, wow, to actually fix that, I would have to take off all these all the way down to the very bottom to readjust those. And again, I look at the edge, and the edge is, it's still where it should be on the edge. So I don't know how these gaps are so bad. It doesn't make any sense to me, because I put them on, about 68 degrees or whatever, right on that first line. So those should be fine right now. It's not even cold, so again, and for measuring these stair stringers, usually I'm off a little bit in my stair stringers, because I'm measuring from right there down to the ground, and it's always a little different than where your stairs actually hit out here. So again, I use my laser, self-leveling laser level. I put a line right there, and then I could walk out 6 feet, and then I could take a measurement, because this is where my stairs are actually going to hit, way out here. So anyways, I got a good measurement on that, so I'm going to try cutting my stair stringers today too. I know it's not a typical way to build a little deck, but this is so small that it's easier to put these hangers on and corners on, hammering down into the ground like I'm doing here. But anyways, I stopped because I was putting in that joist hanger, and I noticed these have a number 8 on them. I was like, dang it. So you have to use number 10s with these joist hangers and corners and stuff. So these won't work. And so I was like, oh, no wonder I had a whole container of them around conveniently, because they're not right. So I'm gonna have to go get number 10s, because of course, you know, it's all getting inspected. If it was like a shed or something, you could you probably use these no problem, but you know, that's why they got a little number printed on them so inspectors can look at this stuff. So anyways, I'm gonna hold off on putting those on, and I'll have to go to the store. I'm gonna get my spots measured out for where my 4x4s are gonna go in the ground though. Hey, I ran out of battery juice, but I got all my runners cut, so I'm like, whew, jazzed. That took a long time, actually. But anyways, you get the first one, make sure it's right, and then copy the, you know, design on the rest of them. But anyways, that took a lot of time. I think the rest of it will be way easier. Oh, but look at all this waste. I mean, wow, each one was, you know, just I don't know, 6 inches over 4 feet. So I mean, wow, that's a lot of waste just for cutting these runners. But and you can you have to kind of move around your design to avoid all the big knots and stuff, so you kind of waste a lot anyways moving it around. How funny, I went all the way into Lapine. It's like 45 minutes away, and they were out of the joist hanger nail, so I had to go all the way to Bend just to get my nail. So I mean, little things sometimes take half a day when you're in the middle of nowhere. So yesterday I went to Bend and I got almost the remaining pieces for my little stairway here. Of course, I'm short for those little baluster things, but it's pretty much done. I'm going to put a couple bolts in here and the front post, and then I got to put a graspable rail on here. This isn't good enough for a handrail. You need actually one you can grasp. So that's kind of silly to me, but anyways, this is about done. I'm just gonna start working on the rest of the siding and these corners here, and so I can start working on this skirting. That's about all I got to do besides a heat pump right now. But I'm gonna have to really call this quits for now. I'm supposedly selling my house on the coast. I say supposedly because there were some septic issues, so I'm not sure if the sale is going to go through, and I only got like a week and a half to move out. So I gotta call it quits on this, go back, start getting ready to move out. But you know, I was hoping I could move into here, but this isn't going to be inspected in time, so I'm gonna have to move and then finish this up in hopefully a week or two after I'm done moving.